Welcome back to Pirate Radio Broadcast. I'm Fast Talking Eddie, Mr. Pete. We got another episode of Madden 26. The Jets and the Packers. The Packers. The Pack Attack. Who do you think is going to win this game? What's your opinion? What's your suggestions? Any evaluations, assessments? Yeah, man. I think the Packers are going to bring the heat, and the Jets are gonna bring the pain. Okay. Let's see if your predictions are accurate or just hallucinations.
Some turmoil threatens their roster in the early season. A challenge has been made for a top spot on the depth chart. Competition breeds success, but coaches will decide how far the competition goes.
For the upgrades, we get Craft. Riding solo. Okay, now I gotta pick up a free agent. Alright, they picked up Stealth Alien Randy, U.S. Air Force. And they picked up Stealth Alien Venetia, U.S. Air Force, on defense. And the New York Jets.
The dawn of a new season brings the dawn of a new era for this franchise. There's a new coach in charge, tasked with guiding this team to the peak of the NFL. For someone with dreams of reaching Canton, this first day and their first interview will set the stage for a career to come. Some turmoil threatens their roster in the early season. A challenge has been made for a top spot on the depth chart. Competition breeds success, but coaches will decide how far the competition goes.
And the upgrades for the Jets: Allen, Hennessy, Jay, and Hay. Jay, oh, la, 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 la. Going crazy. Just rhetoric is not policy. There's policy and then there's rhetoric. Rhetoric is just gently tapping you on the shoulder, saying you're crazy. Alright, we're gonna pick up some free agents. Alright. The Jets have picked up stealth alien Monica Yo 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 Yo. A halfback. And they picked up stealth alien Elvis Armenius, U.S. Air Force, wide receiver. And stealth alien Ishmael, U.S. Air Force, wide receiver. So let's get on with the game. Alright, let's get on with the game. Jets and the Packers.
The address is 1265 on Charlie Avenue. The place is known as Titletown. Welcome inside legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We've got a good one on tap. It's the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen ready to get the preseason started. Off we go in the rain here at Lambeau Field. And he'll be taken down at the 39-yard line. The Jets, their ever-changing quarterback carousel stops on Justin Fields, the 26-year-old member of the Bears, first-round pick back in 2021 out of Ohio State.
Starting all the way back in the spring, Mike, there has been months of preparation building up for this very game. And for a lot of the guys on the sideline that have been around for a long time, these preseason games might not feel all that important. But I promise you, these games go a long way, not only to making this current roster, but trying to make a career out of playing in the NFL.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 9. Here goes Mike. Go. Another run here. He's got room to the 45. And he is out of bounds. That's
up the middle. The interior of this offensive line did a great job clearing some space. The back saw it quick and he hit it. Next thing you know, he was in the secondary for a big pick.
Here comes Hall on this toss to the right. And the ball's out of bounds. Just a couple yards short of a first down. That's a pickup of 8.
35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
From the 35, here's 2nd and a couple. He gives to Hall. That's all.
Great job here by this linebacker, Mike. There was no reading and reacting. From the snap, he was attacking. Meets the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Here we go. We'll try to run for it. He's going to have some first down values. The stop made at the 31, but a new set of downs. First down picked up.
I know it's early in this game, but in my mind, that's 4-down territory, and certainly now the coach doesn't have to make that decision. He keeps it on the ground on 3rd and short, gets a fresh set of downs, and now they got to see if they can come away with some points.
And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. A gain there of 16 yards. Good for a Jets first down.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
And off pitches ball. The hole closes quickly. He'll take on about 3.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 11-yard line.
It is 2nd and 6. There we go. He'll go again for Paul. He'll pop his head for about 4, but it will set up 4th down.
And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. 3rd and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
Great job opening it, engaging where the marker is, and getting there to set up 1st and goal.
Jets, first down.
What an impressive drive this has really been, and it's a combination of big plays and 3rd down conversions. Now after that last 3rd down pickup, it's 1st and goal. They got a chance to finish this really impressive drive and come away with 6.
He can get past the 3-yard line.
Gain on the play.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range. But for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
Get in, down to the 1, setting up 3rd and goal.
A 2-yard pickup.
And after putting together what's been a long and methodical drive, they suddenly find themselves on the verge of potentially stalling out. So this defense, they can get a stop here. It would feel like a pretty big win on a drive that's largely been dominated by the offense. A lot of times as an offensive player, you come off the field, you're not thrilled to end a drive like this with a field goal. But I think in this case, you can label it a success. You were able to operate your offense. You were able to quiet this crowd just a little bit and come away with an early lead.
This will be returned from the 6. They'll work their way across the 25-yard line. So the Packers come out, and they are led by Jordan Love, who followed Aaron Rodgers after playing apprentice for a couple of seasons. And now for Love, it is his 3rd season as the Green Bay starter.
There's so much conversation around the NFL, Mike, about the importance of these preseason games. And while the final score certainly doesn't matter, there is the evaluation of your roster, your personnel. You can't replicate these live reps and simulate them in practice. So these are your moments. Go out, play fast, play confident, build those reps that you need so that when the season comes around, you're ready.
And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to live scrimmage, and that's it.
So these Mike, are the body blow runs. They're not big gains, they're nothing fancy, but they really set that physical tone for the rest of the game where now a good play caller can use some of these early runs to set up something a little bit bigger down the road.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Love. This is Tucker Craft. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
It's a gain of 6.
You can just see the frustration of the defender. You see him get off the quarterback. He's like, man, hold that ball for one tick longer, man. I'm there to record the sack. Nice job by the quarterback having that timing and rhythm to get that ball out of his hand. And you can imagine, he got close this time. That defender, he's going to keep coming, and don't be surprised if he eventually gets to it.
And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on 3rd down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. From the gun, here comes Jacob. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
At the 43-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 9. And the shotgun, it's Love. Jaden Reed was the intended target, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
And 9 yards.
And the defender does such a good job, Mike, not only putting himself in position to make the play, but how often do we see guys that are there and they just can't quite make it? In this case, he's there, knocks the ball down, really nice play.
3rd down and 9. Set, ready, set. Here's Love. In front. It is incomplete. Christian Watson, the intended receiver.
It's
Okay. Let's get on with this. 2nd quarter. We got Tyrod Taylor. After that, Brady Cook. And for the Packers, Malik Willis, and you got Sean Clifford.
Now, faking the give. And he'll be all down at about the 35-yard line.
That's another Jets. First down. 13 yards. First down, Jets.
On play action. He'll set up to throw. And fortunately, he's able to cover it up. It will not be a turnover, but will go down as a sack.
And man, does he dodge a bullet right there, Mike, on that sack. He's fortunate. That ball bounced right back to him. He's able to recover it and keep possession for his team.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Here we go. Now it's the Michigan man, Jonathan Edwards. This defense over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
26-yard line.
Back-to-back plays by this defense now, Mike, winning these early downs. They get the sack on 1st, the tackle for loss on 2nd, and now brings up 3rd and long.
On 3rd down.
to the punt. So it's third and mile. Pick up as many as you can. If you pop one for the first down, great. But if not, you bring out the punt team, and however many yards you picked up on third down, you add on top.
The Packers offense ready to get back at it. And Greg, week one here in preseason. Look, we know a lot of the guys who are going to make the roster, but there's still a lot to happen in training camp that players can find their way to a spot on the opening Sunday.
No, we hear these stories all the time, Mike, where there's a little buzz about a guy in training camp and coming out of the local beat reporters and maybe the coaches talking about him a little bit. But then there's the surrounding question is he going to make the roster? And it's really what they do in these preseason games. We see not only do they make the roster, but in some cases they go on to really have critical roles down the line as the season unfolds. So I know to a lot of fans and some of the veterans, these games don't feel like a whole lot, but to some guys on that sideline, their entire career is in front of them.
Just a yard on first down. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Willis. Marshawn Moore. And knock him down up beyond the 30. A gain of 11 on that one. First down, Packers.
First down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get them the ball, pick up the first down.
It's a nice block here to balance these conditions. A gain of about 5.
37-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
So, from the 37, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Back. Send you back.
On him again, and 12. And he'll get up beyond the 40 to the 41-yard line. Quincy Williams in there for the stop. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially that it's not too serious. They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. They'll run the sneak. He's going to knock that for the first down. Take it out to the 43-yard line.
It's a gain of 2. And the Packers first down. First and 10.
I don't want to take anything away from the quarterback here, Mike. He did a nice job picking up that first down. But this play is won or lost by the big guys up front. They're the ones who need to get off the snap on time, get leverage on the defender, and create the space needed for the quarterback to pick up the first down.
Couple of first downs already on this drive, and they'll go first down from the 43. Getting the tight end involved in this game. Brought that back to a short pickup to the 45.
A gain of 2 brings us 2nd and 8.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Nothing to it.
On the stop. A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 7.
Here's 3rd and 7. Willis. He'll take a shot. Who wants it? It's incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's 4th down.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
Here's Daniel Whelan now.
Formation.
And for first punt. This is going to get out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The Jets offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Davis. So get this one up past the 20 to the 21.
Yeah, we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest, and while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense. Nothing doing here, and I think you can see pretty early on. Now, while he's trying to remain patient and see if the hole pops, it's just too slow of a developing play. He never gets into the teeth of the defense at all, and ends up being taken down for a loss.
Let's go now.
Taylor. Chased down, forced the alternate throw. Maybe he's fortunate that all it is an incompletion. A tough spot here. 3rd and 1. Taylor looking to throw. That one's caught. It's Isaiah Davis. And gain some yardage here, but that is not nearly enough for the first down. It's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Austin McNamara now, as he's on to punt for the Jets. Looking up through the raindrops. No issue there, though. Fair catch, called for, and taken successful. Out comes the Green Bay offense now as they get set to take over again. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Here's 2nd and 9. No! Off the bootleg. He'll look to throw here. Now he'll just pitch this one out there. Now he'll just try to pitch this one forward, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Back in the day, Mike, you know how they decided who played offense and who played defense? The guys who caught the ball better played offense, and the guys who couldn't play defense. And now, that's obviously not the case anymore. But this is one of those that still gives defensive players a bad rap.
Here we go. Back.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. Down he goes.
This offensive line has to do a better job, Mike, of communicating the protection pre-snap, especially on these key 3rd downs. The blitz overwhelms them.
That's really not looking good. Not looking good at all.
amount of contained rushing, especially on third down. Like, you can't rush one-on-one. You have to rush as a unit. Keep the quarterback in the pocket, and when you let him get loose, this is what's going to happen.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
I'm not going. I'm not going.
And this is more. Take this inside the 35. Give him 10 more on that one. Just enough for another 1st down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult.
And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
How would you like to be this running back here? You get the ball, you're thinking, all right, get through the line. Next thing you know, the big old D tackle's just waiting for you there in the hole. Nowhere for you to go as he takes you down for a loss.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Here's Willis. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. That's the 2nd time they connect on this drive. This one good for 13 yards.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the 2nd quarter.
Reload! Ready!
First down. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play. That's time for Green Bay. It'll be their 2nd, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Willis now to throw. He's going to keep it himself. And he's going to slide down with the 1st down inside the 5. Packers going to use their final timeout now as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this 1st half. This has been some kind of march downfield now, and they pay it off with 6. It's 1st and goal. And he will rise to just get rid of this one and set up 2nd and goal.
All right, so the ball falls incomplete, but I think what it does now, Mike, is it allows you to stop the clock, get in the huddle, take a deep breath, and now your play caller has to give you the best play. Go get points here before the half and try to build something going into halftime.
Willis now to throw. He's got it out of the range. 3rd and goal.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd and goal.
Willis to throw. He's in. Watson. Green Bay. seconds now until halftime, and the kick's away. Here comes a return from the 3. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. And they'll let that turnover. Instead, just take a knee and take this out into the locker room. Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here in our thankfully dry studios in Orlando. That's obviously not the case at the stadium, where the rain continues to play a factor in this game. Who will take better advantage of it in the second half? To find out the answer, let's go back out to the stadium and rejoin our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson. Hey, Scott, thank you. Rain only intensifying now as the teams have come back out. This figures to be a wet, wild second half to come.
And we'll have a changing of the Brady Cook will get in there.
First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go. The second half is underway. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. There's Matt LaFleur, head man in Green Bay, as his Packers head back onto the field. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with first down.
Hey, check that. Hey! Count it.
That's a game of 21 to open this drive.
It's a gain of 21 yards. That's good. There's first down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On the set. Set it. Ready.
On first down, it's Boyd. There's like someplace to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
A loss of a yard.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
Second and 11. Another run here with Lloyd. And he'll give this a finish. Gain about 4. And it leads to third down.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 7.
You always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
Here's first and 10.
Come on, set.
Shotgun snap, and a gift to Moore. And he'll get about 6 there. Setting up second down.
At the 26. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
first and second down and be able to stay in those neutral down situations. So it's exactly what they do here. They lean on the ground game and pick up a fresh set of downs.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
I'm not right. I'm not right.
Right back to Wall. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
Some defensive ends specialize in getting after the quarterback. Some defensive ends specialize in run game. This guy can really make an impact on both, as we saw here for that tackle for loss.
Let's go now. Can you line it?
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That is Johnny at 10. And it's going to be 1st and goal. Another tackle made at the 5-yard line.
16 yards. That's good. For the Packers, 1st down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
And if he's late with that throw, Mike, there's a really good chance a defender could have made a play on it. But he does a beautiful job. He puts the ball out in front of his shoulder, leads the receiver, and allows him to get upfield and pick up the 1st down.
5 yards from the house. They've got it 1st and goal. Here's a run. They got a little bit of space. They'll take this forward for a gain of 4.
Just shy of the goal.
In order to be successful as a run-heavy offense, Mike, it's so important that you remain really efficient on 1st and 2nd down. The last thing you want is to be in 3rd and pass, and it really throws off what you feel like your strengths are. So now, you get down here in the red zone, it's got to be touchdowns. These are
Arrows his way into the end zone. Israel Abanaconda. Touchdown, Packers.
You can just see the comfort, Mike, that this offense continues to play with. The early momentum in the 1st half has carried here after the break, and you can see this group just slowly starting to pull away.
And I'm thinking, Greg, about the guys on the other side. You're waiting at halftime, that other offense waiting to get back on the field. What happens? They come right out, extend the lead, and now the task gets a lot tougher for the 2nd half. Now it's McManus for the point after. It's good. And the Packers move up to a 21-3 advantage. Both teams ready to go once more. And as the kick's away, this taken in at the 8-yard line. And it'll be brought down at 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Jets offense trotting back out for their 1st involvement of the 2nd half. They are in need of points in a big way as they set out on 1st and 10.
Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Let's get to the 4th quarter. Can it get any worse?
the game for any defense, you find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
To the right side, he's got one. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. It'll come up here, first and 10.
First down.
Red zone now. He'll drop to throw. And he will run down. A gain of 6 on the first down. Second down and 3.
At the 14-yard line.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. Good coverage there in the end zone. That is incomplete. Terrific work to separate the man from the football. And it'll bring up that third down.
20 yards to go.
Shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. In the end zone. And it's incomplete. What great work. Just keep those hands up there. And now it's fourth down. Now they'll set up to throw. That is incomplete. How they like it to throw on fourth and short. It does not work out. They turn it over on down.
It's a turnover on
The
down.
Packers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end trying to come up with a way to keep them contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. A tight end in motion now. Travel start on the ground. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down.
22-yard line.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the fourth quarter, which typically means I had a lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
On second down, and he'll have nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And the Packers.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run game. Third and short, fourth and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
Here we go, back.
On the ground, it's the tight end. And a good job defensively to round into the ball. They hold him to a short game.
25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
From the 25, here's second and 8. They send one of the tight ends in motion to the left.
Tiger.
Oh, they go. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially, that it's not too serious. Third and 6.
Let's go now. Vikings, let's go.
They send the tight end in motion. Throwing, Lewis. And that one's incomplete. They really ratcheted up the coverage there. And they force fourth down.
And they got the look they were hoping for, one-on-one on the outside. He's just unable to hold on to it through contact, and I think that was a big opportunity missed.
Packers set to kick this one away. He's on to punt it for the 4th time tonight. So now the Jets offense ready to take over once more. Things not looking good. But see if they get turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with first down. Turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again. Being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down. Second and 10. They'll send their tight end left. They'll go here with one. Maybe a couple there. It's third down.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
Third, they need 8. Here's a screen now for Moore. Conversion on third down, that was a gain of 27.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the first down.
Difficult in these conditions. He gets forward here for a gain of about 3.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7.
From the 24 now, here is second and 7. Check. Now here's a keeper on his own lead. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially that it's not too serious.
this game is beyond over.
It's a win for the Packers as they start things out with a victory here in the first week of this preseason. And that'll do it for my partner Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers are winners as we say so long from legendary Lambeau Field.
Stealth Alien Elvis Armenius. Stealth Alien Monica Yo 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 Yo. Stealth Alien Ishmael and Ruckert. Get the upgrades. And for the Packers, Stealth Alien Randy gets the upgrade. Well, that ends this game. Hope you enjoyed. The Packers just manhandled the Jets. Welcome to the NFL, Jets coach. Welcome to the NFL.